It looked like that everybody is available for tomorrow's game, and until 2 minutes before the ending of the session, and Eddie unfortunately injured his hamstring again.
Oh no!
And had to leave the pitch 2 minutes before the end of the game. So he won't make tomorrow's squad. We will have a scan again, but doesn't really look good for him. But yeah, all the others are available. So we had, again, I think on Sunday we trained with 23 on-field players. I think the first time since the start. No, I think for this first time for the season. But yeah, it's how it is.
He's had so much bad luck, hasn't he? Setback after setback, injury after injury. How is he coping with that? I know it's early, but how did he seem?
Yes, of course, he was very disappointed, and we are really suffering with him because the worst thing for a player is, so as a player you always think the worst thing is when you don't play, when you don't start, but the worst thing is when you are injured, and especially when you have setbacks, and that's makes it really tough for Eddie. But he will, like always, he will have all our support to come back, hopefully until the end of the season. But again, we will know more tomorrow.
You hinted at it there when you all returned to training. For you, how have you managed to spend this time you've had away from game in, game out, one off the back of the other? Have you had some time to yourself? Have you spent it all on the training pitch? Have you managed to kind of maybe regroup?
No, I think we managed these 3 weeks quite well for everyone. To be honest, for all the players, this was the incentive for qualifying for the quarterfinals. We had 8 days off straight after the Larnaca game, and also to be honest, so when I went home, my calendar was empty, and I was a little bit nervous what to do. Because I'm not used to it, but then I went skiing into the mountains. It was good for 2 days. And then just spending some time with the family, the father's duty. So for many days in a year, I can't follow my father's duty or my husband's duty. So I had a few days at home, and then we started with the players who were here. So we're 7 players plus from a few from our under 21s. We started 2 weeks before tomorrow's game. We had an in-house game with our under-21s, so to stay in the rhythm, all internationals, they had their minutes with the national team. So, and then all the internationals got a few days off after their second game. We could afford this because we didn't play at the weekend. And then since Sunday we're all together and we always start 4 days before a game to prepare. And I also used the Saturday was off. I used to go to Verona and watch Fiorentina live in the stadium there. And with all this, with quite a lot of time to prepare. So we feel ready, and we're looking forward to tomorrow's game.
So I'll come back to you in a second. As you mentioned there, the international break, obviously we haven't seen Brennan since, sadly, Wales went out. How have you been, and how have the group helped you, get your head straight and come back to smiling again?
I think it was tough. Obviously, we had a dream with Wales to get to the World Cup, and unfortunately it didn't work out like that. And it was disappointing the way it happened. Of course, everyone in the team was really upset with how the game went. But since coming back here, I had numerous messages from the lads straight after the game, and also the staff, which was really nice. And coming back in has felt like a bit of a breath of fresh air, and it's been nice to train. Of course, we've got some massive games to look forward to, so I think that's really helped in kind of focusing on something else. And we start with the game, and it's one that we're all really excited for.
First ever European quarter-final at Selhurst Park. You know all about scoring big goals in big games in Europe. How would you like to do that tomorrow night?
Yeah, massively. I think looking back in like players' careers, kind of moments like this don't really happen too often. Never mind within the space of a year. So I feel really lucky to be at a club that's been performing so well. And I think now it's just about kind of embracing the moment that we have and giving it everything we got, because we know we're in such a good position. And personally, I'm really excited to kind of get these games going.
Just a couple more, if I may, Oliver. With the sun out, you've now only lost 1 in 8, so you turned your form around a little bit. You've got obviously some sad news today again, but fairly fully fit squad to work with. You've had a bit of time on the training pitch, you've had a break. Does it all make you want to change your mind about leaving at the end of the season?
No, that this decision is taken, but I have to apologize. I forgot to say thank you to our Italian guests for bringing the sunny weather to England. So we really enjoyed today training without a coat. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it on Saturday in Verona as well, so it was nice, 20 degrees. Had a great pasta. So, what was the question? No, decision is taken.
I just finding from me about a player you had a chance to work with briefly. Yes. You reinvigorated.
No,
I'm going to ask you about Michael Olise.
Yeah. Honestly, we had a fantastic week. This sort of great training sessions from the football perspective, but even a better atmosphere. It was really amazing. To be part of this group this week. So everybody came back from the national team, from their country, playing for their countries with in a different situation. Yeah? So some were really successful. Some players like Maxence Lacroix made his debut for France. It was his big dream and well deserved. And other players had the big dream for qualifying. Not just Brennan, it was Justin Devaney, it was Paddy McCarthy, my assistant coach with Ireland. So unfortunately they failed, but also that's when I think when we look back now to our season so far, that's football. Yeah, it's always ups and downs, and now we said a few weeks before we are entering crunch time, and now it is crunch time. Hopefully 7 weeks to go, and playing. And I told the players in your career, you're not every single year in this situation that you play a quarterfinal of a European competition if you're not a Fiorentina player, because they play the fourth time, consecutive time. So after the semi-final last year and 2 finals, so it looks like it's their competition. But we will do our best to qualify for the semi-final, and that's why we're all looking forward. And I think this affected the mood, the atmosphere at the training ground, because the players really enjoyed it. We enjoyed ourselves, we enjoyed the football we had, we enjoyed the intensity and everything we will need tomorrow to get a good result in the first leg.
That's great to hear. You alluded to it there, you take pride in the achievements of your players and your former players. You were credited with reinvigorating the injury-affected career of Michael Olise in the short time you had with him here. Are you surprised about how everyone's talking about him now as potentially the next big money player?
No, I'm not surprised, because I could see it from the first day when he was on the pitch, because he was injured when I arrived, but then and he had a huge impact in our game when he was fit and he was still, I think, 22 at this time. So. And I watched yesterday's game against Real Madrid, and it was a great game to watch, and he was outstanding. I think his entire season is really incredible, but I'm not surprised, and I think it's still not his ceiling. He can still do better, it's great to watch these players, and it's not just him. So we had a few. Unfortunately, Eberechi is injured right now, so he couldn't participate in Arsenal's yesterday's game, but we also had I think it was on Monday, when Mark Gay, they had off at City and they visited the training ground, and it's also, I think, is a good sign that the players who left Palace, that they're always enjoying coming back to the training ground and visiting the players, visiting the staff, and so we had a chat. He had a lunch with the players, with us, and so again, it was really until now a great week, but the most important day so far will be tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Would you like to go? Yeah. Okay, you need your headphones, guys.
No, I'll do it in English.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
As soon as we knew what teams were going to take part in this competition, we thought that Crystal Palace were one of the favourites. Did you have the same feeling about Fiorentina, and do you think this is like an early final of this competition?
I think it, and when you see at the you can have a look at the Europa League, and you can have a look at the Conference League. It's at the end now the teams, let's say from the big 5 leagues. It's always England, it's always Spain, it's always Italy, because I think Bologna is still in the Europa League.
Against Aston Villa.
Against Aston Villa, so it's Italy, it's France. Here is Strasbourg, and which one did I forget? Spain, France, Germany. Germany with Mainz. So they are all still in, and then it's Shakhtar, it's Alkmaar. We played Alkmaar in group stage. It's a very good team from the Netherlands. So I think it's at the end when it comes to the final, these teams will playing these games, and so I think that's why I was not surprised. So I was surprised at Fiorentina when they won 3-0 at Bialystok in the knockout stage, that they had to go to extra time at home. That surprised me, because they are usually they don't concede 3 goals. So very well organized. I was really impressed by their organization. I think they with a very tricky start into the season, they turned the season around, and I just had a look. I think in the last 10 days they're number 8 or 9 in the Serie A. Don't concede a lot of goals. So this I think they deserved, and we expected that Fiorentina will be at least in the quarterfinal, but of course, from our perspective, we hope that this will be their last 2 games this year.
And one question for Brennan, but actually could be potentially for both of you. But I'm sure you're aware of Fiorentina's game, and you've watched some of the recent games. And what aspect of Fiorentina's game are you, I wouldn't say scared, but are you afraid of facing?
Yeah, I think they're a good team. We've watched many clips. I think they're a well-organised team. As the manager said, they haven't conceded.
With some familiar faces for you, coming from Tottenham. Solomon.
Yeah, Mano, of course, great player. Played with him. He had a tough time with injury, but
and the sporting director as well, Fabio.
Yes, Fabio is also there. But it's going to be a difficult game. I think from the clips that we've watched, really well organised, really defensively strong, but also have some quality in attack. So I think when it comes to like the quarterfinals, the teams are strong, and you can't expect an easy game. So I think overall, in every aspect of their game, and as they've showed in the league form recently, they're a really good team, and I think it's going to be a tough game, but one we're excited for.
Yeah, so first of all, I expect a stronger Fiorentina than at Verona, because I also watched the game on TV when they played Inter Milano, and this game they could have won. And I think I watched, and this is what I'm always doing when we prepare for international games. It's usually I get clips from my analysts, but in this case I watched I think 4 or 5 a full 90 minutes, and I expect a stronger team, Fiorentina team, and also I know Marin Pongracic. He was my player at Wolfsburg, and I texted him straight afterwards, and his response was, "So if you watch today's game, you don't need to be worried." But I said, "Yeah, but I watched Inter Milano as well, so I think you can do better." And so that's football. Yeah, sometimes you have a good game, but on the other side, it also showed for me. Because Fiorentina is very efficient, so in this game, they waited for this one mistake, and then they took advantage and won the game. And I could see the huge celebration of the entire team. The full bench was sprinting to Fagioli and celebrating with him. I think there was a lot of pressure on them. Were fighting, still fighting against not getting relegated, and I saw their schedule. I think they play Lecce, Cagliari in the next weeks, Lazio, and us in between. So for them, they are now 5 points away from the relegation places, and I could see and feel this how they celebrated the game-winning goal. And so on the other side, I believe that now they will focus maybe more on the Conference League, because they also rotated quite often for this game. So also the goalkeeper, it was De Gea, didn't always play. So we expect tomorrow their best team. They have a few injury problems, so we don't know a few players like Dodo, like Mandragora. They were not involved in the Verona game, so maybe they will be back tomorrow. I think then it's sometimes a little bit different. So it's different if Komutsu plays as a right back, or Dodo. He's the more attacking version. The other one is more the centre back version. So, but we are prepared. I think we know everything about them. And but the most important thing is that we play our game. And as you mentioned, the intensity. What I think this is also one of their strengths. So they will try to play their game and make it to our game. So also when they played, and it's just the first leg, when they played at Bialystok, they had 29% of possession, but winning 3-0. So defending very well. Whereas soon as they are 1-0 down, they go quite aggressive pressing man-to-man, and so we have to prepare for both. So we don't know their approach. So we showed the players. So sometimes they're playing very defensively with 9 players defending the box and just a striker waiting up front. Is it Moise Kean or Piccoli? So we don't know, but one of them will play. And there are other situations when they press man-to-man, very aggressive, very high, so. Important will be that we play our game, we play with our strengths, but of course, like always, accept the strengths of the opposition, respect the strengths of the opposition, but we're also always looking on their weaknesses where we can have an advantage, and this is what we will look for tomorrow. Yes, but I don't know the answer. We will see tomorrow, because it's easy to tell you something and say, but you have to prove it on the pitch. And it is, when I watch the Italian football, it's sometimes a little bit different. Playing maybe more defensively, but again very well organized, and also not playing so often for transition. If they win the ball very often, they stay in possession, and all the others try to recover. So, but it's I think Inter Milano played 2 Champions League final with this style. So that doesn't mean the one style is better than the other. So you always have to look what your players, what suits to your players, and how you are as a manager. And I think many Italian managers are the manager for Italian teams, and they have their idea, they have their identity, and Fiorentina, again, they played 2 finals and 1 semi-final in the last 3 years, and they are now in the quarterfinals. So I think it can't be really bad what they are doing, and this is what I personally and we all have huge respect for. It's maybe in a few phases of the game a little bit different to the Premier League, but that doesn't say this is right and this is wrong. It's just sometimes a little bit different, and we also have to cope with how Fiorentina is playing. And I think they have to cope how we are playing, and that makes European football so interesting, because otherwise you always play the teams from your country. You know them very well. You're watching them every week. You're facing them twice a year, and then you play against teams from a different style. And we had some problems and challenges with this situation, because many teams changed their style of playing completely against us. So we watched their league games, and then all of a sudden they played completely different. And the last game was Larnaca. They used to have, 70% possession, 75% possession in their league, and against us they played with a back 5, and we had 75% possession. So again, that makes European football so interesting, I think.
Thank you. We'll go over to Rachel from the Press Association.
For Brennan, we've heard your coach talk about this a bit, the ascribed favourites label, if you're one of the favourites or if not the favourite to win this competition. I guess as players, how do you deal with that label? Do you ignore it completely? Do you use it to kind of fuel you with a bit of confidence that you have the tools that are capable of getting you there? How do you actually respond to that word when you hear it?
Yeah, I think personally, I feel like I use it as confidence. I think playing in the Premier League, I think there's many aspects of just competing every week in the Premier League that can give you an advantage in Europe. I think when you get to the later rounds, you're coming up against top opposition anyway. But I still feel like there's ways that you can use your Premier League experience to kind of be able to win games. But overall, I'd say definitely use it as confidence, especially against maybe teams from more lesser leagues. But when you get towards the the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and you're up against amazing teams anyway. So I think, yeah, just use it as confidence as much as we can, but at the same time, we know that these teams provide real quality as well.
You came in a bit of a topsy-turvy time at the club, I'd say, a bit of a tumultuous January, but now I've been able to settle in a little bit. What have you learned about this team and this club that you think will be capable of getting you as deep in the competition as you want to get to?
Just how tight the club is. I think the atmosphere here and the team spirit is something that I've never experienced before. I think literally anyone would do anything to get 3 points for each other, and I think it's really special. And I think also the quality is definitely very underrated here. I think there's a lot of amazing players, and since coming in, I feel like we were in a tough time, but you always felt like the atmosphere was amazing and kind of the togetherness was there, and so I think everyone was confident we'd come out the other side of that. And especially in Europe, I think even though it's a new experience for a lot of players, I feel like the togetherness still kind of gets us through it. And we're experiencing and we're learning from every different challenge we've had in this competition, and hopefully it's something that we can keep building and get as far as we can.
And personally, do you feel like we've seen the best of you so far, or is there more to come from you?
Always more to come. I think, if you ask me any time in my career, I'd always say more to come. I think what I'm really enjoying is playing in different systems and different teams and playing with different players, and especially here, I think some of the players that I've been able to play with is very unique, and it's something that I'm always learning from. So, always more to come with me, and of course, I'll always be working hard to do that.
Nice one. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bobby, this gentleman here. Thank you.
Firstly, I think the home advantage is massive. I think Selhurst Park's an unbelievable stadium, and it can generate a really good atmosphere. So I think, if we can play the way we want to and get the crowd up for it, I think it's a massive advantage, and hopefully we can take confidence from that and give us the best chance to get a great result. And secondly, I think it was quite a shock to see Italy not win the second game, but at the same time, we'd played Bosnia a couple of days before, and we knew how talented their team was as well, and how hard they made it for us. And I kind of knew it was going to be an even game. Probably expected Italy to win, but to see Italy not win, I was already devastated that we didn't qualify, so I wasn't too fussed who went through. But it was a bit of a shock. I kind of expected Italy, being such a historic team and having so many great players to qualify. But congratulations to Bosnia, because they did a great job.
Thank you. Can you pass the mic to Bobby? Thank you.
Hi Oliver, can I just check Decore? He didn't seem to be in the last under-21 squad. Is he still on track with his recovery?
Czeki had a few disrupted weeks. First of all, he got a daughter. That means he was 2 or 3 days not in. Then he started training. Then he felt a little bit a muscle, not really a heavy injury, but after 2 or 3 days training, he was out for 2 or 3 days. Then he was again in, and it's also we made a scan. It's fine. So I hope him to be back by the end of the week. So, and I think the most important thing for him is, who missed almost the last 2 years, that he gets now very stable, really into a training rhythm and then playing rhythm. And he trained with us a few sessions, but we still have to manage and be very cautious.
And Jorgen's suspended tomorrow. JP's been gradually building his minutes back up after the knee injury. Would he be ready to start for you tomorrow?
Oh, yes, JP played the full 90 minutes in the in-house game. He scored 3 goals, so he seems to be ready.
Thank you.
I just mentioned he had played the full 90 minutes last week. He scored 3 goals, and it was I think especially for him quite shocking for JP. And he was out, I think, for 6 weeks in total, where he couldn't train with us on the pitch. And now we had to build him up, being ready. I don't know if he can play the full 90 minutes tomorrow. I expect the game a little bit more intense than it was the in-house game here at the academy. But yeah, he had the full week with us in training. He trained last week fully with us, and yeah, he showed that he is ready to start.
He's a great player. I think we're all very aware of what he can do from his time at Man United. But yeah, I'd say no, we're not especially worried about just him in particular. I think they're a good team. They've got many good players, but yeah, we can't worry too much about what he can do.
Yeah, it's the same. We're never worried. It's great to see him still in such a great shape. I think he had a fantastic game at Verona. There's a few big saves and also very, very good in getting the corners because they had many. And yeah, he's a fantastic player with a great career, and yeah, but we will welcome him back. But we will try to score at least one more goals.
Thank you.
No, it won't change our approach. Yes, he's a great player. I think he's the top scorer for Italy, for the national team. He scored there, I think, in both games. And he's the top scorer for Fiorentina. Yeah, I think the profile is a little bit different when he plays compared to Piccoli. Piccoli is the target player, the tall player, whereas Moise Kean is very smart how he moves. He always steals away in the back of the defender. He's more the player who makes the runs in behind and with a great finish. But again, we watched games when Moise Kean was playing. We watched games when Piccoli was playing. I could see, I don't know, 10 minutes where both were playing at Verona. I think this is more or less it's unusual that they play both. But also they have Gudmundsson, who is able to score. They have Jack Harrison. I don't know if the other players, Parisi, if they are back or injured, still injured. And I think also from midfield, Mandragora. I think he has already scored 6 or 7 goals in the season, and Ndur scored twice for the under-21s for Italy. So they have players who can score, and so we have to control this. But on the other side, we also trying to create chances and to play an attacking style. But we always, this I think is quite similar. We want to have a good balance in the game, especially it's not tomorrow. I don't expect tomorrow will be the decisive game. I think it will be 1 week later at Florence, and yeah, but we want to have a good first result.
Okay, thank you. If there are no other questions, we'll leave it there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you.